Who is a role model? This is someone you can emulate in a particular area. In music, sports, leadership, or even matters of faith. A role model is a reference point. They have something that you want, and they've been successful in a particular area. Role models are a great influence. Leadership is influence. According to John Maxwell, author and communications expert, he defines leadership as influence, nothing more, nothing less. And therefore, if we have to have more influence in the workplace, we need more role models to exhibit the desired behaviors in the workplace. When I conduct training, I tend to do a mini survey, and I ask participants to name for me role models in their lives. What surprises me is that it takes time as people reflect. Who has impacted them in a big way or influenced them to be where they are in their role? Many people would name teachers or their parents as role models who have shaped them. In a few instances, I would get participants, maybe 2, maybe 3, mention a boss or another leader in another organization who has held their hand and guided them to grow career-wise to be where they are. And I've always wondered, why do leaders, or why do we in organization fail to embody what direct reports expect in the workplace? What is the expectation for a role model? Who qualifies to be a role model? Before we get into that, I want to look at the importance of role modeling in the workplace. Role models aspire or carry aspirations that their direct followers would like to exhibit. And therefore, by looking at the way they work and how they run their affairs or how they run their roles that have been executed to them, they are able to influence the desired behavior. The second important role of a role model is trust. These are people who are valued by employees. These are people who are motivated. They always are with it. You never find them down. They seem to have an extra battery that charges them. And they've learned a way of handling their downs so that they are always energized to impact people at different levels. They are very engaged. They know what is happening. And they thrive in what they do. They are very creative and very innovative. The third aspect of role modeling, the importance, is that it allows for personal development. When you have a role model, they are able to guide, to coach, to mentor, and they are able to nurture you to be able to move from your current position to another position. Why is it important to have role models in the workplace? Why should leaders, why should managers, why should supervisors, why should the individual employees model the desired behaviors? One is that when you have models, they carry the entire package of what you are looking for in terms of performance, in terms of behaviors, and therefore they are able to influence and cause others to want to be like them, to achieve the desired behaviors. The second benefit, of course, is trust. People trust role models. They are valued employees. They are motivated. They are engaged. They thrive in their performance. They are very creative and they are innovative. Role models influence personal growth because they nurture through mentorship and through coaching. They are able to nurture people who work below them, people who have skills lower than theirs, to be able to have clarity, to be able to build skills and competencies to undertake specific tasks. And this gives the momentum. It gives one the momentum to be able to move forward faster, to accelerate their career growth. And therefore, it's very important to have role models. In some instances, when I have asked participants about role modeling in the organization, role modeling is something that is desired, but it is something that they don't see. There is some disengagement. They don't see the behaviors being exhibited. And therefore, it draws us to the question of how can you be effective in role modeling. If you ask the senior team and said, are you good role models? They'll say yes. How would you score that on a 1 to 10? They'll say a 10. But if you ask the direct reports, they will say it's a 4 and a 5. So I want to spend some time to look at how then can you be a role model. Role modeling is not a walk in the park. It is a sacrifice. It takes time. So one must really be genuine and have interest and care beyond the job description. A role model will be very authentic. They are genuine in your growth. They are always there for you. They are consistent over the period when they are coaching you, when they are mentoring you. They are consistent in seeing that you are actually growing. And they have an emotional connection with you. And this ties in to the point that when you look at an organization, when you look at relationships, trust is a very important aspect in building relationships in the workplace. When employees see that your only interest is my output and nothing else about me, about what's going on in my life, about how I'm growing, employees will disengage. So having those models who will be able to actually take their time and invest in the growth and development of others is something very important. The second aspect of effective role modeling is coaching and mentorship. Now, this is adding value, real value, to someone who has less experiences or competencies than you have as a role model. It is lifting them up. It's asking questions that would help them grow. The third aspect in being an effective role model is being good in what you do. This is where many people fail, because you must thrive for others to aspire to want to have what you have in terms of knowledge, experiences, results, and delivering success, not just once, but consistently. Now, if you are real good, somebody will ask, how do you do that? Show me. The fourth aspect is inspiring. Now, inspiring is that there is something that attracts people to you because they really want what you have. What do you project? Are you upbeat? Are you energized? Are you positive? Do people want to be around you? Do you have what people want? That's very critical in aspects of being effective as a role model. I want to ask you, how effective are you? What do others say about you? What one thing can you do today to impact those around you and influence them in the desired behaviors? How can you be an effective role model? We are now going to look at the expectations of a sales force on their leader as a role model. What do they expect from a good role model? One, they would expect development, that you are imparting through mentorship, through coaching, through training, imparting the skills to the team and individual to enable them to be more effective and efficient in doing their role. A sales force would expect that you are authentic, that you are being very honest when you are giving them the feedback, when you are appraising them. They would expect that you would lead by example and showcase the best practice in effective selling. They would expect to see the performance exemplary from you, which is the outcome of the team effort, in order to be a role model. What I'm saying here is you cannot be an underperforming sales leader and be an effective role model. They would also expect ethical and equitable treatment and not showing favoritism or bias within the department. That would kill role modeling. As a sales force, you can be a role model even within the function. And how can you achieve this? By exhibiting the behaviors and habits that support the goals and aspirations of the organization. Your role modeling would come in how you execute your work, how you handle the clients, how you work as a team member, contributing to the overall team goals and objectives, how you lead on initiatives, and how you develop others. Your role modeling would also come in how you carry the aspirations, the values, and the goals of the organization, aligning your own values to that of the organization. So role modeling works at all levels. It is not only for leaders, for managers, and for supervisors. Even as a sales force, it works in how you conduct yourself and how you succeed in delivering the expected outcomes. How can you be more effective in role modeling? There are 4 benefits of effective role modeling, whether it's in the workplace or in other spheres in the society. 1, effective role modeling influences the desired behaviors. It's a catalyst. It causes others to emulate. It causes others to desire, to want to be, and therefore to reach out and seek how they can be able to demonstrate and exhibit the same behaviors. And 2, trust. Trust is very important because in relationships, the cementing factor is trust. Speed Covey, in Speed of Trust, articulated that for organizations to thrive, it is important that The employees and their line managers establish a trust before they can give their hearts and their minds to the organization. So effective role modeling opens up trust and creates a motivated and engaged environment through which performance, creativity, and innovation can thrive. The third important aspect is that through the influencing of learning, it catalyzes personal development. As we discussed, we say that there is mentorship and there is coaching, and this role model, even though at times role models don't even have to say anything. I've had people say, I learned to start my morning early because I learned this from so and so. So they may not even have to speak, but it influences personal development because the individual is able to pick aspects that promote the success in a particular area that they want. And this, as a result, provides the momentum that is required and which then allows the person to be able to run up the career ladder, to succeed in what they are doing, and to be able to mirror the behaviors of the role model.